I've known Sikich for well over a decade, and even worked in the past. So yeah, I've always had a ton of respect for Sikich and the great work Sikich does for customers. What's been excellent for Intellistack, formerly FormStack, we have a no-code workflow product that has just so much potential use cases, so many potential use cases that could be applied across verticals. So Sikich's vertical expertise lends itself incredibly well to kind of adding a ton of value for our joint customers in solutioning and ultimately helping to drive digital transformation, improve client experience, and kind of far better internal efficiencies as well. You're right. We've done really good work with your life sciences team, and we're doing great work together with your practice, Rahul, around insurance. There's a lot of depth we could get into, but at the surface level, the best way to put it is, Intellistack is a flexible suite of software, and for Sikich to be able to work with customers and help advise on what's possible in terms of digital transformation, and then help to execute on that is why the partnership has been so strong. Customers have tried and true, trusted data sources and systems of record, and those systems are crucial to their business and not going anywhere. However, that's coupled with the need, to your point, to provide more modern client experiences. What's the initial client touch point? How is information collected? How does that relationship start? And what's the customer journey look like? So Intellistack allows customers to leverage those critical data sources, but create better client experiences. And Sikich is the trusted partner that kind of makes all that happen. What our software and the kind of the Sikich know-how combines to deliver is a guided experience that also has the right, let's call it, business rules built in. So in claims processing, what would be frustrating to a client is, I provide this information, but it's not the right information, and now you've got to come back and ask me more questions, and now there's a claims specialist involved, and now the client's frustrated. So all of that can be improved on the front end with a rules-driven client experience that captures the right information conditionally. Also, another thing we layer in, Rahul, is the ability to kind of read out from existing documents or uploaded images. So it's not just sort of the traditional, what you've told me on the form. It could be information we pull out of images or historical documents that drive to those rules. So it's more accurate information being collected from the client up front in any intake process or even claims, and it just leads to better client experience, more efficient process for customers, and it's a true win-win scenario. We're looking for practical AI use cases, right? I mean, AI is such a sometimes intangible concept. So to have these real world examples where you can sprinkle in AI to processes and make it a real win for the customer in a highly secure way. That's what I'm really proud of with that example and the AI use case. A big part of our heritage and the products is just very flexible around document output. So a lot of homegrown solutions or point solutions around DocGen may be very rigid, may be limited to a single product line or the formatting or the rules. With Intellistack's document capabilities, it's highly flexible, both in terms of layout and rules, and you could even bring in additional data sources from multiple systems, but it gives the customer full control of that document, what that finished product looks like, what are the rules around it, the data sources, and then also where does that get delivered to, including an immediate digital signature, because oftentimes once you generate that document, you want that to be presented immediately to the customer, to the client, in a web experience or email to them or sent through SMS message. And all of that is very common as we're working with customers in terms of the client experience that we're delivering. Yeah, it's agile, it's incremental. Also, I think a bigger picture point is combining the no-code workflow foundation with your expertise. What I'm also seeing as a trend is you're able to solve for kind of repeated customer solutioning, and now you're doing it not with kind of what I call yet another point solution, meaning like you're not bringing in sort of another point solution that needs integrated. You're actually sort of building on a foundation of integration so that customers are ending up with something far more integrated, less point solutions, and just kind of each project adds more value than the previous project from what I'm seeing.
We've had a lot of meetings with clients where you can always talk about the art of the possible, right? You can always talk about, well, our system can do this, our system can do that. But what I love about what you guys do is you understand the problem statement from the clients, and you actually demo it, and you almost build part of the solution up front so that the first time the client's actually looking at it, that system and solution resonates with them because it's something that they can see as part of their business and their workflow. So
yeah, it helps bring it to life to a customer. They could even kind of provide real-time feedback. You can call it like, rapid prototyping. But yeah, it all ties to, I think, us having a proven track record together, customers benefiting from that because, now there's faster time to value, and also with this, ability to adapt to the unique needs of each customer as well. So what impresses me about Sikich is combining that kind of strategic digital transformation planning with execution. The Sikich team is very clearly highly trusted by customers and backs that up with kind of proven, consistent, high quality delivery. We have a foundation of proven use cases. I think we're going to continue to work on even more prepackaged solutions to bring to customers to be able to improve even that time to value. So you've mentioned several, Rahul, but the FNOL, first notice of loss, is a pattern we're seeing in the market together. We're seeing patterns around document intelligence, document automation, helping customers consolidate point solutions, maybe legacy digital signature products. So I think more and more repeatable use cases that we can bring to customers is one big theme. And then a second theme, and I mentioned it a little earlier, is just the more we work with a customer, the more value they're getting. Because this is a very flexible data fabric and workflow product where it's the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. So I think it's just more repeatable use cases and just even more work with customers to add more value.
absolutely, couldn't agree more. I mean, we have one client that we started with, policy document generation, and now they're moving towards looking at the solution for policy submissions, right? Mm-hmm. And then eventually claims intake. So all of these really key inputs in areas that, again, not ripping and replacing your core enterprise systems, but looking at enhancing and complementing those with what Intellistack can do, I think really adds a lot of value and does it in a way that's agile and nimble. So it doesn't need 6 months worth of implementations. It can be done a lot quicker, easy to adopt, easy to maintain. And that's, I think, what the industry is really looking for, right? Time to market, being able to have something that is turnkey and really just, in.
And in terms of customer value, it's improving client experience, and it's creating internal efficiencies, which could mean true cost savings. It could mean better kind of employee satisfaction, and kind of being more responsive and faster to customers in process.